it's hard to put in words what that secret sauce is, because it is it's such an energetic feel of the community coming together. There is this unspoken trust which we know that jo ho raha hai will be fine. There's a sense of collective, like no one is alone in this process. And I think when I look back at the 9 years, yes, I started alone, but very soon I started getting so many people who believed in the vision and the philosophy and the approach and open to the madness and the chaos, that ये community कब बन गई, कितनी जल्दी बनी और कितनी बड़ी हो गई, उसका पता ही नहीं चला.
The creativity and the uniqueness of the people that are here in VLC, whether it's the MS staff, whether it is the admin staff, whether it is the teachers, whether it is the program directors, and each program director, whether it is Ms. Hina, whether it is Ms. Jumana, Faria, Asma, Shireen, all the CELs, everybody is a unique person. और उसकी जो uniqueness है ना, वो is जब when it comes together, the flavor that comes out is, I'm getting that flavor in my mouth, although I'm fasting. The flavor of that uniqueness is a secret sauce. That's the way they gel together. हो सकता है नहीं बनती हो किसी की किसी से, but they have never told us. But when they are together, the energy is superb. That's one of the secret sauce.
VLC essence is acceptance, it's community, and it's ownership. These are the three words that keep coming to my mind, because of course we've faced many challenges over the years also, and these three things keep coming up and they keep on showing, because all our community members, they embody it. Ownership is not something that I can impose on somebody. It has to come from within. And the way that they take ownership of this space, of our challenges, they make it like their own. That's the only thing that actually has helped us overcome so many difficult situations. So yes, there is growth, but yes, there are challenges, but there's so many gifts that we've received during this time also.
VLC is not just a school for kids, it's been a school for adults. When I look at my own experience and my journey here, the experiences has been that yes, what we see is the growth and the glimmer and the shine and the multiple campuses opening up and the team expanding and all of those things. These are great, beautiful gifts which we have received in the process. But this journey really breaks you before it rebuilds you. And when you think that you've learned enough, and a new challenge emerges, and then you're like, okay. And of course, as humans, when we receive these challenges, I mean, the most recent example is the court case which happened in the Clifton campus, which came out of nowhere. I mean, I'm literally sitting, I'm in the middle of a training, and I receive a WhatsApp message from my lawyer saying, Muzaffar, this has happened. And I look at this, read this message, and I put the phone back, and I started doing the teacher trainings again, not registering that what exactly has happened, that we've gotten a stay order. The other party has gotten a stay order against the Clifton campus, and we have to shut it down. And of course, I'm not going to completely go into the realm of toxic positivity and yeah, that's fine, and something good will come out of it. There was this whole cycle of grief. There was this shock and denial. How is this happening? And of course, you worked so hard to make this beautiful campus and this beautiful community which has come together. And what does it mean that we're not allowed to operate? It just doesn't make sense.
So every year there is a gift, and to get to that gift, you have to look at the mirror really, really hard. Every year there is a darya of aag coming your way.
So if you look back at whatever time that we've had, every single year, just when we think that, okay, now we got it, and now this is going to be one of those smooth years where it's just going to be smooth sailing and we now know what we're doing, we know what we're doing, but every year there's trials and then there are triumphs. Every single year there's some big wow moment and then there's some big like, oh my God, what's happening moment.
The day that we found out that that we've gotten a notice, my initial reaction was कि okay, साल के बीच में स्कूल बंद कौन कराता है, सही है. So there's always this cushion that you have, and whenever you get any bad news, you try to find out, okay, cushion कितना है अभी, right? तो मैं कितना panic feel करूँ.
Just as we were kind of gearing up, April is our birthday month and VLC's 9th birthday was coming up, and before we headed into Ramzan, we always have our PYPs and our performances, and we were at that peak of that wow, triumph time of the year when we were really on top of things and we were all preparing for our PYP performances. Muzaffar calls us for a meeting and says, this has happened and we have a court notice kind of a thing and we might have to close operations. We don't know really what's happening right now, but let's see where this takes it, but it looks serious. At that moment, I kind of just went numb. I'm like, you gotta be kidding, right? It didn't really sink in at that time, but I remember just completely going numb, like, okay, this can't happen. I will just block this all out. We will be fine. We'll be back tomorrow. Pretend this never happened.
It was the 4th of Feb when I found out, and 5th Feb Kashmir Day ki chutti hoti hai, and I said, you know what, we need to meet. So we all met on a it was a Wednesday holiday, and I told them that this is what's happened and we have to come up with a plan.
There was a lot of focusing on operations and ops, and just the reason for that was to make sure that the children were getting what they needed. And there was also focus on what the conversation and the communication would be with the parents. And I feel that our take on it was that we're going to be honest and we're going to let them know, okay, this has happened, and then they're going to be upset, but we'll probably come up with solutions together.
It is a shock for the whole community. I mean, we did not see it coming. And then asking them that they'll have to pitch in and help us figure out a solution. While all these emotions are going on of anxiety and fear and sadness and anger and denial, there's also been hope and gratitude and this feeling of, like there is something, there's a bigger meaning behind what all is happening. And one thing which I told the team was that, I remember when COVID had hit, and I said, something better will come out of this. And I mean, that's the time when VLC from a growth perspective really blew up. And I told the team, let's think of this as our COVID 2025. And one of the things was that let this be an adventure. Let's take this as an adventure. And one of the things which has been very liberating for me is that I said, look, I don't know the answers.
It was at the beginning of the week that news broke to me that one of our campuses, the Clifton one, is being shut down. And we then informed the parents that for 2 days the school will not be operating, and then Muzaffar had called in for a town hall. The strange thing is that in all of this, not once did I feel that there was despair coming in. Yes, there was worry. Yes, there was a lot of stress, a lot of tension, a lot of concern also. But not once did I feel that this is something that we will not come out of. And I think here I'd like to mention, tawakkul, which is surrendering to a higher power, to Allah, and really surrendering to that bigger, greater plan. When all of this was transpiring and it was unfolding for us, some parents really, stepped up and showed unimaginable support.
A complete natural, real, vulnerable Muzaffar sitting there talking to parents that this happened. And yes, we did online during COVID, but that doesn't work in real life for small kids. And of course there was backlash, but most of the parents were trying. The way they all got up and they started talking, it seemed like they're going to attack us, but actually they all came. Okay, take our number. This is what we are. This is what we can do. Okay, do you want us in the court? Just take our number and we will be at the court. Okay, so I am an ex-army person and I am an ex-this and I am a lawyer and I am a this, and they were all there to help. There were parents who said, take our house in Clifton. We are ready to give our house for the school.
We're running on a tight timeline right now because I've told the parents that within 2 weeks I'm going to let you know. And 2 weeks are almost there, the deadline. And there's 1 more week to go before Ramzan starts. Now when Ramzan starts, of course, the afternoon shift is not going to work. And of course, the parents have been very supportive, but at the same time, they're also like, okay, we need some certainty. And the court hearing happens after 2 weeks, and in the Sindh High Court, and a bunch of parents show up, right? And here I am, this is like me as, I'm not a school principal at that time. I'm like someone who's started something with a lot of love and just waiting to be like, okay, what's going to happen? So Anita and I are sitting there, and a few other people from the team, and the parents show up, and we're waiting for the hearing to proceed, and there's no small talk, and we're just sitting and we're looking at each other, and I'm like, okay, am I supposed to say something to them, or just be who I am and stay in the present and really embody the trust which I've come with, because I had high hopes that day, and we did not get the relief we are expecting, and then the parents started giving me tasalli, and they're like, Zafar, isi mein Allah ki behtari hogi, and this, and all of those things. And I'm like, wait, I thought I was supposed to give them tasalli, and it's happening the other way around.
I think the kind of communication that was coming out from the school was really calming for the parents, including myself. And it was also that, we felt that the person who is sending that email to us is a human being and is going through a lot too. And he's the one who is, who is actually addressing the issue. And it is on behalf of all of us, and he's actually in the court for us. So I felt we need to support him, and it has to be a two-way thing. And when our children are in VLC and they love the place and whatnot, so then why not in such a situation where the management is challenged and there is issue with the campus and all, we need to extend that support too. So at the town hall, Muzaffar was very open, very and I think the best thing about Muzaffar has always been that he connects well with the people, and so the way he is open about things and he is honest about things, that actually really helps.
And when the news broke, we were like, is this even true? How can this happen? How can our government do this to us? But I knew for sure that Muzaffar is going to figure something out. And it wasn't only me who needed support, it was he who needed support. I think more than us, he needed support, because we were, as a community, we were as parents. He was the one who had everything on his shoulders, all by himself. He was the one who was dealing with everything raw, first-handed. We were getting just answers, and we were just questioning him. That's it. And he was there answering our questions. I mean, he did not have answers to his own questions, but he had to answer us.
So then there was just crisis management and responses, and that's where you really first saw that community feeling coming up, where we literally all sat in a circle and every campus was like, yes, I can have 3 classes, emptied for you and ready, and etc., campus-wise. And offerings of, oh, you have these rooms that we can move our art lab out, and then you can put your kids in there. And that's when you really saw that community aspect and of, okay, how do we help, how do we support? And that was really wonderful. I may not have shown it at that time, in which case I apologize to all those people, because again, for me, it's okay, how many students go here, how many do there, and it's a lot of just like managing. But it was very stressful for me, and I realized I've been a classroom teacher for many, many years before stepping into the more administrative side. And I knew that this would be a huge impact on teachers as well.
A day later we get a message that the school is off for the kids, we have to come, we have to, like, what's happening? No, this can't be happening.
It was
this cannot be happening.
Panic inside our heads, but we try to stay as composed as possible.
We had 5 to 6 different groups, and everyone was talking on those groups, and everyone was like, nahi, ho jayega. And then they were like, it's a piece, temporary, we are going to piece it. So I was like, okay, fine. It was all temporary because we had some of the stuff still there.
But that temporary move was also,
it was a hope.
There was hope, but I remember when I walked into, like, we were asked to pack up our class on a Friday so that we could move to PCHS. And I walked into my class, and by that time, most of the books and everything had been packed up. And I walked in, and my class did not look the way it looked every single day I walked in. The tests were not there, my children's books were not there. And I burst into tears, and I'm like, this is home. This is where I've been coming every day, 5 days a week, every day. It was a lot of panic in our heads. We tried to put on a brave face, but
everyone on the inside was like,
I think it was just a big advantage that the kids were not around that day, and we got to cry our hearts out. I was not the only one who burst into tears. There were other teachers. Some teachers held on a brave face. Some just did cry. But everybody was internally feeling the panic, and we didn't know what it would be.
It gave me a very, very low feeling. I saw lots of emotions, hyped up emotions. I could see the teachers wearing a mask on their faces, yet they were feeling really low, but they were trying to portray, and they were trying to that they're feeling fine, and they were trying to support the parent community who was there, who felt comfortable seeing their teachers, and they were asking her, ye kaise hoga, kab hoga, hum kis tarah karenge, how will we bring our children? But we said that it's a very short term thing, we will work on it, and inshallah we'll get through this. For me, PCHS is a home. I started from PCHS, so I knew everybody. I know most of the people over there. The space is very familiar to me. But my main struggle was the emotions and the struggles of my teacher, my team. We were living in a box. We would put everything in a box. We would pack it before leaving, and the next day we will get those boxes, and then we will unpack them. We will set up our stations. We will do the prep work before the children would come, and then with a big smile we'll go in the garden to welcome them.
The first day that when I went to actually drop Zainab, the Ms. Fatma was there, and she was there with a smile. Other teachers were there. The first day that I took Zainab to the PCHS campus, and it was the family actually waiting for us. Ms. Fatma was there with a smile and that assurance that my child is safe. It's the same set of people, but a different campus.
One of the gifts was somehow we always felt, hum karte the, we do a lot of our trainings together, either in the Sapphire Gate or in the Purple Gate. These are the 2 big campuses, so the trainings which are for the whole school is done either in the Purple Gate or the Sapphire Gate. Every department of VLC teachers, heads, administration. The silver lining was that everybody gelled in together. Everybody opened their doors. We have never thought of VLC as, oh, the sapphire gate or the purple gate or the red gate. We've always kept our doors open. There are a lot of overlaps of things that happen, which probably parents don't realize. Probably the PDs also don't realize when we push them, oh, why don't you do your PYP in the purple gate? Oh, why don't the purple gate go to humanities and do their PY? Because that keeps the connection going and the connection getting stronger. And that's what happened during that time.
It was always kind of the thing of like, you know, we had our Sapphire Gate campus and we had our PCHS campus, and we would meet on occasion when it would be our trainings and things like that. But then there was always this kind of thing of like, oh, the campuses are different, their culture is different, or the people are different, or it's not the same. And you know, it would be kind of like a running joke also amongst everyone that, oh, you know, that Sapphire Gate and the PCHS and whatever. But it was, you know, we'd always joke about it, but we didn't really kind of understand that is that actually true, or is it not true, or how you know, how bound together are we, or how different are we? We didn't really understand that until this whole situation happened and we were merged literally into one. And then you couldn't even feel the difference. I mean, we had no idea, you know, where this, if they're Sapphire Gate or PCHS or this student or that student. Everyone was, we were all VLC. And we were all students, and those kids took up ownership of that campus so beautifully, you know, those spaces so beautifully, as if it was theirs and if they're just coming to another home. The teachers felt like they were right at home as well. You know, the PCHS teachers, when it was the time for us to, okay, this is our last couple of days here. You know, they had parties for the PCH, for our Clifton teachers. They had lunches for them, and they did a little going away party. And every campus had its own little thing that they did for the teachers. Our teachers made little thank you notes for them, and you know, handed it over. So it was just this really beautiful feeling of give and take and from each other, and just everyone being there for each other. And just, you know, like when you take in a traveler who's gone through a really rough journey, and you take them into your home and you provide them comfort and food and shelter and love and all of that stuff. That's what it was like, essentially, and they felt right at home.
I come to the school, and the team is ready for plan B, you know, and we announced that, you know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have a new campus, and we're moving to phase 8.
And then the goodbyes happened. Of course, I mean, this was a temporary home, a temporary nest for them, and they were saying goodbye to it. And because we found a place for them somewhere else, which was also a beautiful beginning. One of the hardest goodbyes that we had to face was saying goodbye to the Clifton property, because there was no closure. Just one day, one fine day, it just had to be shut down. And in between, when we went over there to take our things, there was a feeling of emptiness.
It was sad because the day we left the building, it was all set up, the boards were there were hangings, there were wall decors, everything was there. And that Saturday, everything was stripped off the walls, there was no furniture in the classroom.
And it had become our space, it had become our place, and we just had to get up and leave it. You know, there were changes, there was so much going on, but to see our classes look empty, nothing on the walls, the chairs gone, and then the campus and the furniture and the air conditioners, everything just coming apart, and boxes, it was really overwhelming because we did not want to leave.
So I was like, "Itna bura kyun lag raha hai mujhe?" You know, it's just been 4 months. But then I realized it's the place. There's something there. The way it was made, and obviously the people. Definitely the people. but there was the vibe there, and seeing everything empty, my class, the area, because there were specific areas that I really loved. I would sit there, you know, during my free time, and I would catch up. To say goodbye to that was just it was very heartbreaking. Even to this day, it feels, I still talk about it, and still, you know, it's like why, you know, it hurts.
And during those reflections, I slowly and gradually started disconnecting myself from Sapphire Gate, because if I will not do that, then how will I help my team do that? So I went there early in the morning on Saturday.
This is the secret sauce.
7:30 in the morning, I told my husband I want to be there really early before the given time, so that I can just process before they all come, and then I can work in my full. Okay, so I went there, I took a round, I went everywhere, I saw things covered in dust, furniture that was moved to PCHS was not there, and everything was cluttered. But then I told myself, I've already disconnected and I don't see this as our space anymore. And then the people started coming in. I shared a message to them. Okay, when you come in, there will be lots of new changes. Get prepared for that. And we have to start working. We had only one day and we had just few hours, and that campus is huge. I find that a miracle that we started at 9:30, and by 2, the whole campus was packed with 100 cartons. 100 cartons. There were 13 cartons of my store only. 13 cartons with label Kiran. And I said, they're not Kiran, they're playgroup pre-nursery. Why are you putting my name? The MS were asking me, Miss Kiran, आपके इतने carton क्यों हैं? मैंने कहा ये मेरे नहीं है. This is my team. This is my children's stuff. The hands-on material in the store.
You otherwise.
Yeah.
Sort of processing. Bittersweet was the right word. Reflection and action. Right. That's
Getting the yeah, my good luck.
मैंने आपको बताया कि 4 pre-nurseries हैं, they're interconnected.
They're interconnected. Everything is in one cluster.
Yes.
Everything will be in your boundary.
Here I am, like with this mindset that, you know, I have to give them this motivational speech and like pump them up and really show them that like we have this bright future ahead, and I'm not feeling it, to be honest. You know, I'm going to be saying words, and you know, I'm not feeling it. I'm feeling quite anxious, and at the same time, like, I mean, of course, leaving this Clifton property feels like a little bit unfair. You know, there was this feeling of like, you know, as if like I've been treated unfairly, and this is not what the community is. So I was struggling with acceptance. So I go there, and the team is, you know, like having their popsicles and they're all checking up with me. Are you okay? And you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm okay. But then, so our marketing team has this crazy idea that how do we announce the new campus? And they were like, you know what? Can we just go, and there's this big moving truck, and you can all load all of you there, because we kind of show that we're loading you and sending you off to DHA. And something really strange happened, right? And this is what the VLC magic is, right? That from an energetic perspective, things shift we very, very quickly. So all of us, like, you know, go to on the moving truck, and like Fatma is like, you know, like help me out to come up, and like Sabine, like, you know, like people are like pulling each other up, and they're like kind of really like making space for each other, and the entire team is in a moving truck, and you know, Namra goes like, say, everyone go say cheese, and like, you know, all of this, and something shifted at that time where like the sadness disappeared, and I'm like, you know what, it's showtime.
It wasn't a very hot day, it was a nice day, and we were all sitting there having chips and strawberry sorbet and all that, and then the kind of mood shifted. The mood shifted, and people started moving a little faster. You know, like वो black and white movie वाला scene था. Seriously, अभी I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about it. जब मैं दाखिल होती हूँ, मुझे आवाज़ नहीं आ रही है सफायर गेट में से, and everybody is moving in a slow motion speed. And whichever room I go to, people usually either are mocking you or throwing a comment on you. Nothing is happening. So it's like and I'm thinking of Three Idiots. You know the black and white wala scene jo unka hota hai? It's black and white slow motion, and after the sorbet, which is like a strawberry sorbet, there's some color in the air. People are moving around, they're moving faster, they're fighting, they can't find masking tape, so they're making noise about the masking tape. So yeah, they got excited.
Something shifted, and whatever the sadness and that feeling was, something shifted, and then we're like, okay, there was a moment of recognition that it's not about the physical space, it's about the people. And while I was with those, with my people, our people, I went with this mindset that, okay, now on to bigger things, onwards and upwards.
Then the flip side of it was that I saw the magic. Like I literally saw the magic of people coming together.
Miracle.
It was
It's
something
really a
else.
miracle.
We were like, नहीं, अच्छा ठीक है, यहाँ नहीं तो वहाँ जाके करेंगे, हम वहाँ बना लेंगे vibe. You know, it's okay. We'll make the vibe there, and I think we are doing that.
Because the vibe here,
yeah.
it comes with our people.
Yeah.
We realize that no matter I think either Muzaffar wrote this or the VLC page wrote this, but it's not the building, it's the people.
Yeah, it's the people.
And we really got together and we proved that. It's Sapphire Gate, Purple Gate, it's the people. It's the people at VLC who make you feel at home.
So Saturday was our big goodbye, and then we come here Monday morning all geared up and ready that, okay, you know, we got this and we're gonna, you know, set up the spaces and it'll be so nice and it'll be fun and we'll make a, you know, whole thing of it. We get here Monday morning and it is just an absolute mess. You know, there is, it's just chaos. There's stuff everywhere. I kind of went into this panic mode, and Miss Fatma hadn't come yet, and I sent her a message and I said, I am having a panic attack. Where are you? Please come soon. And like it was you know when there's so much of a mess that you don't know where to start, and then so you just don't do anything. So I think we all just kind of went on the front steps where there was only like this much of a patch where you could actually sit, and we just sat there and we just like kind of looked up at the sky and we're like, you know what, I don't even know where to begin. And forget 2 days, we were like, we'll be ready in 2 weeks. Like there's no way that we can have this place ready to have kids come onto campus on Wednesday.
Monday was very difficult. Everybody had meltdowns, सफाई हो नहीं रही थी. It's not किसी का भी fault नहीं था. It was a new place for everybody. The MS didn't know how to maneuver in that building. Lukman didn't know what instructions to give who. Arthur didn't know what to do, what wiring. There was the IT, there were internet problems. Every problem was surfacing on Monday.
First day here was absolute chaos. Let's not lie. It was absolute chaos. I was very, very stressed about how we were going to open on the Wednesday. First day here was a Monday.
सबके इमोशंस हाइट अप हुए थे, सबके, क्योंकि हमें जगह समझ नहीं आ रही थी, हम यूज्ड टू नहीं थे. द स्टेयर केसेस एंड एवरीथिंग, लिटिल थिंग्स हमें इरिटेट कर रही थी. रमज़ान था, रोज़े थे, ठीक है, लैक ऑफ स्लीप, बहुत सारी चीज़ें थी और ऐसा लग रहा था सब एवरीबडी इज़ ट्राइंग टू लाइक, मेरा ये नहीं मिल रहा, मेरा कार्टन नहीं मिल रहा, मेरा थैला नहीं मिल रहा, मेरा फ्लैश कार्ड गिर गया है. दे वर लाइक लिटिल थिंग्स, मेरा ये नहीं. मैंने कहा सेट योर गोल्स, चूज योर बैटल्स, एवरीबडी ऑन द टीम. पहले हमने क्या करना है, फिर हमने क्या करना है, फिर हमने क्या करना है.
Everybody's who PD, who principal. It was the first Rosa. Oh my God! Yes, it was the first Rosa.
Yes.
It was the first Rosa. And we were here.
And we were carrying boxes
Boxes
and
covered in dust.
Yes,
and
yes.
Forget
But,
about being the PD, Miss Fatma, principal. Nobody cared. Everybody just wanted to, you know, be there for each other. And that's the beauty of our people. Nobody, you know, they okay, this is not my job designation. There is no job designation when it comes to helping.
You know, I've never heard mera kaam nahi. You know, I've never heard
not
that
once
sentence.
have I heard that. Not once. Ye mera kaam nahi hai, or I can't do this, or I'm too busy for this. Nobody has ever said that to us.
And during that, not just the teacher, I think the MS staff, they were like, fabulous. मतलब उन्होंने तो जी जान लगा दी अपनी के नहीं, we will do it. And
Really?
it was insane. The way we had to set up everything, tiny little bits, we had to look for things, we were carrying boxes, but it happened.
People of VLC are setting up a place. If you walk in, you will not be able to tell the difference between the director and the support staff at that point, right? Because everybody will be doing everything, and ferociously for that matter, because everybody is so focused on their task and on everybody is so focused on the task of getting the place to look and to feel safe and joyful for children.
I call this thing the one with the final touches, right? Because I'm like, it's 8 p.m. and at 8 a.m., so in 12 hours, inshallah, this place will open its doors officially. That's when our first batch comes in. And we're just setting it up, there is ये rug यहाँ बिछा दो, ये frame लेके यहाँ रख दो. Why don't we move some plants here and bring the plants there? And of course, there was this feeling of nostalgia, because I remember when I was setting the red gate, I was very much actively hands-on involved as well. I'm like moving pots and it's like, does this rug look better here, or like what cushions should we have? And वो मछलियों का frame आ गया है aquarium, because that was still in Clifton campus, and I'm like, no, but we need to make sure that the aquarium gets set up, because our preschoolers would really love the fish, and I want to make sure that when they come to this campus, they see their fish back, because they haven't seen it in almost a month. And then I come outside, and the weather is beautiful. Like, it's one of those really nice Karachi breeze. I'm sitting on a bench there, and I just look up, and for some reason there was this thing where it feels like home. The transition of this could feel like home to now this feels like home.
It opened at 7:30 on Wednesday. Of course, lot of hiccups. Of course, there will be little things that we will continue to improve and change, but at least we managed to bring everybody together. Everybody won't be happy. It's not Sapphire Gate, and so we keep searching for excellence and looking for better options. Yeah, but we did it.
It just kind of brings it also beautifully together in the sense that our secret sauce and our essence is not just, I think another important aspect of it is the fact that we are able to be true to ourselves and to be authentic and to let people know when we're in a vulnerable place, when we're struggling, when we need support. We can say that, and we then receive that, and that's the gift that we kind of got from all of this, is the fact that when we can honestly say that our community is actually truly a community that kind of sticks together, but the fact that we are always able to triumph and always able to get through whatever it is that we have had to go through, it's just proof that VLC is a special place, and we are doing special things.
You find other people and you see that everybody is going through it with you, and it's okay, because they're still there, you're still there. You're able to learn that it's okay even if it's chaos, that it's okay even if it's a disaster, even if it's a crisis. It's okay just because of the fact that you have each other.
I was like, this is wow, this kind of community, you need to, I don't know how Muzaffar managed to find this kind of community. It was like, he went out with a lantern to look for the best stuff and to look for the best pupil for him.
That magic wand is, I think, respect and dignity, which people really appreciate in this country. It's amazing how if you give that to people, if you give them ownership, which he does, you will get that community forming. So, that is, it's easy to throw around words like community, but they're amorphous words. If you actually get down to it, what is it that is making a community? It's shared experiences, but it's built on having respect for each other and having respect for your differences, your strengths, your weaknesses, all of that. And what makes a strong community is when each individual gives that to everyone else.
And you really feel bonded to the entire school, its management, and you really feel that it's family. It's not just that we are saying that it's a second home, because it's a safe place for our child. So when we call it a second home and we call it a second family, then that's how we feel that they're reciprocating, and we also feel that way towards the family, that we want to stand up for VLC, we want to stand up with the management to actually face the challenges, because our child is here. And so that's why I feel the warmth, the connection, the thoughtfulness of the people here is what matters the most.
That's I personally feel the secret sauce of VLC is the kind of people VLC has attracted, and how the synergy of all these very cuckoo people. Most of the people who work in VLC are not sane. हम सब खिसके में, और हमारे लीडर भी हैं वो और मैं वो सबसे बड़ी, मगर तो हमें लाइकलीनेस लोगों को पसंद करते हैं हम, जो थोड़ा सा वियर्ड हो, जो थोड़ा सा अजीब हरकतें करता हो, बट somehow these very different, very unique team individuals getting together and creating that kind of synergy, which is, I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm not joking. It doesn't happen in real schools.
You don't come to VLC by your own choice. VLC calls you somehow, and it pulls you in, and it provides what you need at that time. So whether it be, some excitement, whether it be something new, whether it be friends, whether it be, feeling a little like a sense of belonging, whatever it is that you need at that moment, I think it provides that for you in some strange way. It's alive. It has a life of its own, and it has ways of pulling people in. So yeah, everybody is a little bit mad here. The ones that have stuck around, particularly like me. But
anybody who is above you at a position will open the door, which is what we call VLC's open door policy. Will open the door, let you come in and say what you need to say. And then there will be this sense of ownership, that you will feel when you've said what you have to say. Then it'll be like, okay, it's like I'm theirs and they will take care of me, kind of a thing. That for me is the secret sauce, because that, I think, keeps everyone together.
It's just being there for each other and supporting each other, no matter who you are, which stakeholder you are as a part of the VLC family, whether you're the parents, you're the MS staff, everybody together is an ingredient that brings together that really spicy, that sidekick to that sauce that VLC is. That is VLC for us. You be there and you follow the 5 C's and you'll get the perfect sauce.
This is our, when we say this is our place, this is truly our place. And there's so much now more to do for our place, right? There is this sense of coming and completing a full circle, because challenges can be exhausting. So while we take our moments of rest and respite and moments of reflection, there are also moments of curiosity and this creative space of what it could be. the new campus in DHA and the VLC community flourishing, and the rise, like our humanitas, becoming a reality, our students growing. I reflect on our essence, which is the community and the people, all stakeholders, all focused on the students, our children, but at the same time supporting each other, learning and unlearning and relearning, having that mindset, that ownership. And my dua is that this just continues, and any life which VLC touches gets to benefit from it, and that's my prayer for the entire VLC community. मैं अकेला ही चला था जानिबे मंजिल, मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया।